So we are now continuing from portfolio risk. This is the third video in the topic of risk and return. Specifically, we are talking about the CAPM theory, which simply stands for the capital asset pricing model. So this is just another model that is used when you're calculating expected return of an investment on the market. Yeah, like you're taking into consideration the market rates, all those things that are involved on the market. You look at the stock markets and the like. You have all that into consideration, and then now you put all that knowledge together and you get to calculate your expected return. That's what the capital asset pricing model usually looks at. So what is involved in the CAPM theory? Well, when the CAPM theory states that if you are calculating the expected rate of return, which we said we are abbreviating as R bar, it states that when you're calculating the expected return using this model, you should have a risk-free rate. That's the RF you're seeing there, risk-free rate, plus you should have this, what they call beta or market risk. Yeah, open brackets, you should have the return on the market. As we said, yeah, considering the market, that's why there's now that the rate of return on the market, you have to consider that, minus the risk-free comes back again. Yeah, and then you close your brackets. So this is the CAPM theory that states that, okay, when you're considering the expected return on an asset, and especially that you are taking into consideration the market rates and the like, you should have the risk-free rates on the markets. Take note of the beta. The beta just simply stands for market risk. The beta is this B, that is like a sleeping B. That is the beta. This RM, we said, is the rate of return on the market. Rate of return on market. Yeah, that's the one. Then of course you have this one, it's your risk-free. It's the same as this other RF. They all stand for risk-free rate. So all these will be given in form of percentages. They're rates, by the way, all these. Yeah, of course beta is not a rate, but it will be a certain value that denotes the amount of risk on the market. So one thing to just know about beta for your knowledge sake, if that B, this is the one we're calling a sleeping B, what happens is that if the value that they give you for B is less than 1, I'll start writing those theories. If the value that you're given for this beta is, I'll use this symbol from math, is less than 1, that simply means it's less risky to invest in such. Therefore, if they give you a beta that is greater than 1, meaning it's high risk, such an investment on the market is what? High risk. So just take note of those things. Beta less than 1, less risk. A beta value greater than 1, high risk. And why it's even important to know all these things is because this course, corporate finance, you really need to understand these things, because how can you give a comment on the results that will be found if you do not know what you're calculating? That is why the knowledge is very, very much important, because you might solve a question like this and be asked to even comment on your results. So you better get your knowledge right on such things. So this is basically the CAPM theory, which just simply looks at calculating the expected return of any given investment with the market in mind. So how do you know now that I should use the CAPM theory? Because questions are phrased in different manners. You'll be like, how should I know that I'm actually just being asked for expected return of a single asset? How do I know that I'm just being asked expected return of a portfolio, or I'm being asked to calculate for expected return on a market? So basically, just look up the keywords to know that you're using CAPM theory. Just look out for these same keywords which are in the same general formula. Those are the ones which guide us actually. So to know that the question is on using the CAPM theory, just look out for these words: risk-free rate. Next, you look out for another word which is beta, the same one we're talking about, rate of return on markets. So such words on market, so such words, as I said, you know that you are dealing with the CAPM theory, which just simply calculates the expected return with the market in mind. So you'll be given most of these components, of course: risk-free, beta, rate of return on market, and the like. So this was the last video on risk and return, and I'm sure from all these 3 parts, I'm sure this must have helped build the knowledge on what risk and return is all about.